And right now, I'm excited to introduce you to the first of 5 authors that you will meet this hour. She is the author of a book that I truly believe every single human needs to read because it is one of the core fundamentals at the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But especially if you are an entrepreneur, this is a message for you. This book, Powerful Sleep, Rest Deeply, Repair Your Brain, and Restore Your Life, was written by our first guest. Please join me in welcoming Shawna Robbins. Shawna, please come up here on the red carpet. Hello. How are you? Well, powerful sleep has suddenly become more important than ever as we are all seeking to boost our immune systems. But let's talk about this book. What's it about? Who's it for? Why did you write it?
This book is a lifestyle book that I wrote for powerful women, and it teaches them how to become even more powerful, like you, Angela.
Powerful Sleep for Powerful Ladies. But anybody can read this book. What you talk about, rest deeply, repair your brain, restore your life. Can we break these down and go into why are these things important and what do we get when we do them? Some of us are a little too busy to sleep.
Well, it's really important now with the coronavirus that you rest. So 7 to 9 hours is what's ideal. The reason being is because your body actually makes your immune cells while you sleep in your gut. There's no other time that your body's able to make immune cells. So it's really, really important that we prioritize sleep right now.
And what do you mean by repair your brain?
Well, while you sleep, your brain is sort of like a self-cleaning oven, and it has a switch that allows it to clean itself. So while you rest, your brain cleans itself, it organizes your thoughts, it removes any viruses or bacteria that have come into your brain during the day. So it's really important that you give your brain 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep.
That's amazing. So like me, I know you grew up in an entrepreneurial family, and your journey as the child of an entrepreneur, I think, was part of what inspired you to say, hey, everybody needs sleep, but it's especially hard for entrepreneurs. We have lots on our mind, a lot going on. Why do you think it's so hard for entrepreneurs to sleep, and how do you think being a child of an entrepreneur inspired you?
Well, I think entrepreneurs are amazing individuals. I mean, they are true leaders. They grow companies. They affect change on a national or international level. They worry. They worry a lot about their employees, about the mortgage payments that their employees have, about their employees' children. And I learned that from my father. He was an entrepreneur. And I saw how much he brought home his work every day in his heart, in his mind. And it was really hard for him to turn it all off at night and lay down and sleep for 7 to 9 hours. He worried. He thought about the emails he needed to send. He thought about the employees, what was going to happen if they needed to downsize, what was going to happen if there weren't enough product launch. You know, what if the customer wanted to reorder or not order? There were just things that, you know, he was unable to really block out so that he could rest.
And we hear all the time, like it's almost like a cliche or something. We hear all the time, like stress is bad, and you go to the doctor and they tell you to lower your stress. Like, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll shut my company down tomorrow. Like, it doesn't even compute when you're an entrepreneur. I think we think we're either impervious or capable of living with more.
Yep, you do. I would agree with that.
And there are consequences to stress in all of our lives, heart disease, like all of the things that come with stress. So if you had a message for that woman in her 40s, maybe like me, but for that woman who is an entrepreneur, she's hard charging, she feels like, I don't know, maybe I'll sleep when I'm dead, possibly. Why worry about this now? Why is it so important to get sleep?
Because in your 40s and 50s are the time when you make the most amount of negative impact on your brain, your body, your blood pressure. As women, heart disease is the #1 killer of women. And when you rest, you sleep, your blood pressure drops. And it's really important to let your heart repair itself, to let your arteries repair themselves. And so the things that you choose to do in your 40s and 50s set you up for either wellness or chronic disease in your 60s and 70s.
So fascinating. I think it's so hard to stop and think about that, but if we could put into perspective, the decisions we're making now are going to affect potentially retirement, our relationship with our grandkids, things that seem far off, but kind of around the corner. Powerful sleep is something we all need, so I want to make sure you get that. Cynthia from Massachusetts had a question about the book writing process for you. Cynthia, I hope you're thinking about shining your light with a book the way Shawna did. She wants to know how you picked your book topic and whether or not it's best to pick what you're most passionate about. So did you sort of pick what you're most passionate about, or was there more of a system to this?
Well, I came to the Authors Incubator with a clear picture in my mind of what I wanted to write my book about. I wanted to write a lifestyle book for the superwoman. And
did I say no?
And then when I sat down and you were the one who said to me, you know what, Shawna, that's great, but something that all women need help with is sleep. And you can really help them. And I really would like to see you take all of the message that you have and teach it through the eyes of sleep. And that was really impactful, so I appreciate that.
So let's break that down. First of all, if you decided to write a book on your own, like if you decided to just do it your own, to DIY it, do you think you would have chosen that lifestyle book? Like without a coach or a team or a system, do you think you would have stuck with that original idea?
So I did originally start a book writing program, and I got about 60 pages into it, and I was done. I had said all I had to say.
And scene.
Right. And I knew that wasn't enough, obviously, and I needed somebody to help me flesh out ideas, and I hit some emotional blocks that I needed to get through. So,
well, now you have almost answered my second question is, if you did it on your own, do you think you would have finished, published, and been making the impact this book is already making?
Absolutely not.
So why do you think that is? Because I talked earlier about 90% of people want to write a book, but they don't finish. It's not like you weren't smart enough. I didn't make you smarter. Like, what is it?
I think what you gave me are the tools, the resources, the coaches, the structure. You helped by asking me as a coach the high mileage questions that I needed to learn to really figure out how I could dig deep and allow myself to really tell the story that I wanted to tell deep in my heart. And that's what brought me to the Authors Incubator, and that's what has allowed me to, be successful with this book. So
that's awesome. Well, let's share it with people. It's a powerful cover and looks amazing with your all sexy red dress. This book, Powerful Sleep, Rest Deeply, Repair Your Brain, and Restore Your Life. This book is for everyone right now. If you're an entrepreneur, these are lessons that you can't go back in a time machine and get. But for all of us who are trying to have the best immune system possible, you want to thank Shawna for making this free today by downloading it and sharing the link with a friend. I've seen a lot of memes right now on social media saying, buddy up with somebody to get through this crisis. One thing you can do for your virus buddy is get them a copy of this book. So powerful to kick off today's broadcast with your powerful message, Shawna. Thank you. That was Shawna Robbins, Powerful Sleep. Make sure you get Shawna's book on Amazon. The link is right there.